Isn't it every single golfer's dream to be able to hit the golf ball effortlessly far and straight? But for most golfers, this seems like only a dream. They get that rightward miss time to time again that costs them so many golf shots out on the golf course, or that duck hook that goes to the left and we've got then too far to the green to have any chance of shooting a decent score. If you can relate to this, I was able to help one of my students the other day down here at this indoor facility gain as many yards as 30 yards more on his driver. I'm going to show you how we did this, the tendencies that we outlined, the tips that I gave him to really help him improve his consistency with his drives, but even more so, more distance on his drives. Distance, if we can get more distance, it just makes the game of golf so much easier. So before we dive into that, if you are new to the channel, welcome. I'm Harry, a golf teach professional, posting content just like this every single week to help you lower your score. So consider clicking that subscribe button as it helps me produce more content like this, and it's also completely free to do. So the very first thing we had to look at for Sam was the grip. We had a couple of sessions focusing on trying to improve the takeaway, improve the overall grip and placement of the hands on the golf club. But what we noticed was Sam's hands, as he came to see me, were very much so inwards like this, where we get the forearms rotating inwards like this here, and that was causing him to leave the club face too open. So before we made any changes, we just had to look at calming down this type of grip, where the lead wrist here, lead hand is very strong, and the trail hand was very gripped to counteract this. So rather than seeing this sort of grip here, all we told him to do was to calm down this grip here so we could see around 2 to 2.5 knuckles on his lead hand. On his trail hand, we just placed it on just so that we could get the right palm, the trail palm, to sit right next to this lead thumb here. So it was covering that lead thumb at the address position. That was going to make things easier for him to close down the face, release the golf club, therefore generate more speed, but also hit the golf ball straighter. Now, once we got used to this, the first actual point that we made in the golf swing was looking into changing the overall backswing position. At the top of Sam's golf swing at the start of the lesson, he struggled to get any wrist hinge in his trail wrist at the very top of the golf swing. So what this was doing here was this was causing him to limit his power, his speed, and he had to generate quite a lot of this from the body movement. And you'll see here he's able to create a huge and incredible body rotation on the way through just to try and generate speed from this. He's got that body rotation. For him, we just had to get him set at the top of the golf swing, getting this trail wrist to hinge back, and that was really going to help him start to lag the golf club on the downswing and therefore generate that speed. So the feeling to do this, what I told Sam to do was to get to the very top of his golf swing. And then once he got to the top of this golf swing, I just said to him, feel like that club shaft itself is going to touch your right shoulder. Feel like it's going to touch your right shoulder. So that's what made him get into this sort of position here. So the angle between before and after, when we took a look at the top of the golf swing, was going from this angle here to that angle there. So huge difference just from trialing that feel just at the top of the golf swing. But then I also said to him, well, if you do that same action up to the top of the golf swing, you should be able to hold onto the golf club using mainly your fingers on your trail hand at the top of the golf swing. You should feel like you can handle all the pressure into that trail wrist of yours. So for him being a right-handed player, the right wrist, just like this here. That was able to set the club in a very nice top of the backswing position. Otherwise, if we start to let this roll the other way, it's hard to hold on to here. It's not going to happen. So we just had him focused on allowing that club, feeling like the club was going to touch his trail shoulder, go right over his trail shoulder into the top of the backswing. As we can see here, the main focus to do this was to allow the club to sit into his trail hand at the top of the golf swing. Those are the two feels doing this here. So there, that point there, and then from there, simply just hitting a few golf shots, getting used to this. Now, that one there, oh, I've got a little bit unlucky there as well. Just need to hit it that little bit extra, and I would have hit the fairway on that one on this hole here at Pebble Beach. Chose this hole in particular because of the scenery, great golf course. But anyway, going back to that point there, that second point, all to do with setting that wrist at the top of the golf swing, you could see how much easier that was for me to be able to not only just hit the ball directly out the center, looking at the impact video, but also I didn't swing very hard at that. and I was able to total out at 241 yards. It's pretty good there to start off with. So for Sam, we didn't notice as many yards as that just yet, simply because he was so used to keeping this angle, extending this angle here as he made our way into the downswing. So when you take a look at these two photos here either side of the screen, what you'll notice is that as soon as he starts the downswing, before we made any more changes, we could see a big angle taking place from the lead arm and the golf club. So we were having this tendency of getting up to the top of the golf swing and casting the club away. So the next thing I told Sam to do was at the very top of his golf swing, as soon as he feels that transition taking place, his goal was to feel like the golf club itself was going to touch his right shoulder as he made his way into the downswing. And I pretty much said to him it was impossible. That's not going to happen unless we let go of the golf club with our grip here and end up touching the shoulder that way. If you do this properly though, and you really exaggerate this and you try your hardest to get that golf club to touch your right shoulder, look at where this allows me here to get into the downswing. Well, first off, it allows me to create that lag into the downswing and get this club set here in a great delivery position to then rotate and then get that release. So we just got him making a couple of practice swings, getting up to the top of the golf swing here, same feeling with the club resting onto it, taking the grip from here, and rather than pushing this angle away, we just got him focusing on trying to get that club to touch the right shoulder. So you can see there in the transition as I make my way into the backswing, downswing, how at the top of the golf swing I try and get this club here to go even closer to my right shoulder, my trail shoulder. That slight change in direction, the transition, just to really get that sensation of that wider backswing to get that narrower downswing, to get that lag that we're looking for with this step. The lag here was going to help him reduce any chances of getting that casting motion taking place. That casting motion, again, that slows you down. So feeling was getting up to the top of the golf swing, lagging the club down. So we were able to generate a lot of speed doing this, but then we started to notice the golf ball go to the right like that one there. Now, why do we think that is the case? And this is what Sam was wondering. Well, if I'm able to lag the club now, why does it go into the right? It feels like it should go to the right because when we do this angle here, we're getting way more shaft lean, and with the driver, it's a lot harder to square the club face. So now we created this lag, this generator of speed, we had to release the angle early. But not only early, we had to ensure that on the downswing here, as we're lagging this golf club, rather than pushing the handle out to the golf ball, we had to push the handle down. So pushing the handle down was just going to help the path and the strike, but then the final thing was allowing this club to release over. So for the release, I didn't mention anything really to do with his wrist. He had that tendency of getting that casting motion, then jumping out the way and releasing the golf club using his lead wrist here, getting into this extended position. So the release that we were looking for was more in the arms rotating over. So arms rotating over, as opposed to seeing this angle here on the way through, especially that part, we wanted more of a forearm rotation release on the way through. So as I make my way into the backswing and I come down, my arms are set into this position here, just like this. So then when I take the golf club and I release them over, that changes the angle there. So that's the feel for that release. So we're swinging up to the top, feeling that hinge there, feeling that lag and pushing the handle down. Then we're releasing the club on the way through. And I told Sam after hitting a couple of golf shots, getting used to this, to really exaggerate it and start to speed things up. There's no harm in trying to develop more club head speed or speed when doing this. But just from being able to get those few points, obviously that little grip change at the start did help us get the club in the right positions in terms of the hinge and the lag in the downswing. But after that, just from doing this pointer here, getting that trail wrist hinged at the top of the golf swing, and then lagging the club down with that feeling of trying to get the club itself to touch the right shoulder, pulling the handle down and releasing over. Exaggerated it by increasing that speed. To him, it didn't feel like he was actually really going for it. He could actually have gone a lot harder than he did. He was just swinging faster rather than swinging harder. So you can see here the difference between before and afterwards. Incredible results with club head speed as well as the total distance gained. Over 30 yards more in distance. So those feelings there, getting the club at the top of the golf swing, really getting that lag into the downswing, and just ensuring we release that golf club over. That was a really nice drive. I'm hoping that one stays on the fairway. Yep, I'll certainly take that one every day of the week at this hole here at Pebble Beach. Nice numbers to finish off on. I hit that one ever so slightly out the heel, me being a little bit picky there, but I'll take it straight down the middle. Happy days. So if you've enjoyed this video and come this far, make sure you click down on that subscribe button below the video, as it helps me produce more content like this, and there's loads more tips and drills just like this coming out every single week. And if you're looking for more information on personalized coaching, online or in person, you can check out the links in the description below for that there as well. Be sure to check out this video over here. In the meantime, if you're looking for more tips to help you create more club head speed effortlessly and gain more distance, this one here is a really good one for you to watch.